Let's talk now about the Democratic side. Bernie Sanders, Hillary Clinton. Does the Democratic primary, not officially, but effectively, end tonight? Let's take a look at what primaries are happening tonight. Of course, on the Democratic side, you need 2,383 delegates in order to secure the Democratic nomination. Florida, Illinois, Missouri, North Carolina, and Ohio, a total of 792 delegates up for grabs tonight. That is 1/3 of the total needed to secure the Democratic nomination. The biggest prize is Florida. All Democratic primaries today, Lewis, proportional delegate allocation. So this means a couple of things. This means, number one, Bernie Sanders is going to get some delegates tonight. This also means, number two, that aside from the number of states that Hillary or Bernie win, we could see Hillary Clinton extend her delegate lead, making it much more difficult for Bernie Sanders to continue a path to the nomination. Let's look now, Lewis, at what the polls are saying about tonight. Looking at Real Clear Politics averages of recent polls on the Democratic side, in Florida, Hillary Clinton reportedly defeating Bernie Sanders by almost a 2-to-1 margin, a real trouncing there. In Illinois, it is very close. Illinois is where Sanders supporters are saying it's going to be similar to Michigan. In Illinois, Bernie has essentially tied Hillary Clinton. If he overperforms her at all, he will win that one. But again, what matters is with proportional delegate allocation, the total results from tonight. In Missouri, Hillary Clinton 47-44 ahead of Bernie Sanders. Bernie certainly within striking distance there. And a little more complex in North Carolina and Ohio. North Carolina, I think, is incredibly unlikely to flip to Bernie Sanders. He is down 57-33 there. Ohio, however, Ohio is really the question mark, right, Lewis? Ohio is a state where if the polls are right, it's going to be real tough for Bernie after tonight. If the polls end up not being right in Ohio, we could see renewed fervor tomorrow for the Bernie Sanders campaign. That would be a huge, huge win if he is able to make up that 8-point deficit.
What we know is that from this election cycle is that we can't trust the polls 100%. We know that. Even the average of polls, even the average, you can't trust it 100%. I think there will be maybe a few surprises tonight. I mean, how surprised will we be? I can't tell you.
No.
But I think we'll be surprised at least a little bit.
Lewis will be incredibly surprised to find out the level of his surprise. I mean, he's going super meta on us today. Let's talk a little bit about the delegate count. As I mentioned, all proportionate allocation. Just as a thought experiment, if the polls right now do reflect tonight's voting, we would expect Hillary Clinton to come away with 426 delegates roughly, and Bernie Sanders with 308. If that happens, that would put Hillary Clinton at 1198 and Bernie at 859. That means Hillary would be halfway to the nomination, and Bernie Sanders would be 36% of the way to the nomination. However, if you include superdelegates, and no matter what we do, we get yelled at, Lewis. If I don't include them, I get yelled at because I'm not being realistic. If I do include them, I get yelled at because I'm not considering that if Bernie keeps winning primaries, the superdelegates will switch to him. If you include the superdelegates and take a sort of polling average look at tonight's primaries, it would put Hillary Clinton at 70% of the way to the nomination. It would only bump Bernie up 1 percentage point to 37% of the way to the nomination. Bernie Sanders needs to tie Hillary Clinton in delegates tonight. I think that that's what needs to happen, Lewis. If Hillary Clinton extends her lead, the window for Bernie Sanders does start to close. It's just the reality.
That's true. But how far behind would he have to be for you to say that it's worth it to stay in the race after tonight?
He is going to pick up some delegates today. I believe that if he can close the gap at all on Hillary Clinton or tie, there is a reasonable case to be made to continue forward. Beyond today, these are some of those northern states that individuals supporting Bernie Sanders like Robert Reich have been waiting for. Today, he needs to either tie or close the gap. The numbers just don't add up for him to do that by picking up a few points in Ohio relative to the polling today and winning Illinois by a little bit. He needs to overperform the polls tonight, and we will have this info tomorrow. It's going to be a fascinating night. I know that.
It will be, and he has been overperforming the polls, I guess, somewhat regularly. So let's see what happens.
FreshBooks is offering David Pakman Show listeners a 30-day free trial of their service. I'm obviously the host of the David Pakman Show, but I also run the business that is the David Pakman Show, and I want to spend as much time as possible on the show and growing and improving my business. So FreshBooks lets you get paid more quickly. It helps with invoicing. It helps with so many of those business administration tools, and it's for freelancers and small businesses who want to get organized on those issues and really focus on growing the business. So to get your 30-day free trial of FreshBooks and support the David Pakman Show, go to gofreshbooks.com/TDPS. That's gofreshbooks.com/TDPS.